crucified Ryan Garcia every fucking day for a full year over a tiny bit of Austrian? You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space, has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate shit. And is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter.
I think now everyone can see that Oscar De La Hoya is arrogant and full of himself. I'm not saying that he's right, I'm not saying that he's wrong, but what I'm saying is that Oscar have shown consistency with his biasness towards fighters that are not his, like the fighters that are not involved with Golden Boys. He will make sure that he attacks. For example, he talks about Dan White not being in boxing. Listen and pay attention on what I'm about to say. I think most of you have forget about this, paying attention to this. He's complaining about Dan White, but he sold Ring Magazine to someone who have never been involved in boxing, who have never fought in boxing, which is who? Turkey. He sold Ring Magazine to Turkey. Now he complains that Dan White is promoting the fight. He is not happy. This shows that he is stressed, angry. He feels like left out, like Tank when Ring Magazine made a conference called All the Boxers, excluding Tank and other fighters who fight weak opponents. Oscar, he is entitled and loves to push the narratives that favors him and his players. This is just a proof. I'm not saying this because of I dislike Oscar. I'm not saying this because of I hate Oscar. But this is what I have understood. When it comes to Canelo, he's hard when it comes to drugs. But when it comes to Ryan Garcia, he complains that the media was always coming after Ryan Garcia over tiny PED in Ryan Garcia's blood. So if you are a normal person who can think, you should ask yourself questions like, if a promoter thinks like that it's okay for a fighter to have a tiny blood of Austrian in the fighter, it's okay. You have to question that. How will we ever going to have a clean fight in boxing when promoter promotes such behaviors? Because he doesn't hold Ryan Garcia accountable, but he's quick to hold fighters over Eddie Reynoso. I'm not saying Eddie Reynoso is doing good with Canelo. I hate the cheaters. I'm always saying Canelo has been given things in a silver platter. But when a promoter deflects when it comes to his fighters, I think it should be a problem in boxing. We shouldn't keep quiet over such things. We should voice it and say, Oscar, if you want to fix boxing, start with your fighters. Start punishing your fighters. You're not going to punish your fighters because if they been tested and they are positive, your promotion company is getting money out of it. Not the fighters who are being damaged, but your promotion company get money out of it. This is a point. Let's continue listening. I think Oscar is jealous and angry because he is not involved in this fight.
He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this. The fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a fuck about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh, and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing. Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere, anytime he's told, because he doesn't give a fuck. All he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fuck about the fans, about tradition, the Mexican weekend tradition. Oh, and Dana, what, now you're turning your back on the UFC? I mean, we all know you've been trying to get into boxing for years on your own and you couldn't do it. Remember Zuffa? Oh, but now that Daddy Turkey negotiated a big fight and he paid for it, you're seriously proud to be the trust fund kid presenting to be the face of this fight. I mean, this whole thing's a shit show. Aren't you embarrassed? I mean, it would be just like me promoting John Jones versus somebody else in the UFC. You guys would fucking destroy me for me walking into another sport and acting like I know the fuck I'm doing. I mean, insiders are aware the UFC's hundreds of millions of dollars in debt and in a bad spot. But that's no reason to switch sports and leave these MMA fighters hanging, Dana. And don't abandon the fans. They've been begging you for months now to make a great fight in the UFC. Oh, and don't even think of bringing your pathetic pay scale to boxing, because these fighters won't go for it. The boxing media is trying so hard to hype up TKO, getting into the boxing space. But the truth is, they have no fucking fighters. They have 0 fighters. TKO? More like TK no. Oh, and guess what? Nobody will ever put a muzzle on me. I'll always give you the facts and keep it real. And I've never been happier to trade calls with Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, because guess what? We ain't going anywhere.